Do you know the problem with most trading strategies? They're super exciting. They promise fast, big profits and moves, right? Easy, easy, easy. And that's exactly why they fail. My strategy, it's really boring. Only time-tested indicators and nothing fancy. No complex system. Just 3 rules I follow every day, every week, every month. And last month, 28% return on my account, while a lot of traders were sadly getting chopped up by volatility. And after 30 plus years trading, I've learned something really simple. The traders who survive don't chase excitement. They embrace routine. They repeat the same boring process over and over and over again. Today, I'll show you the 3 rules behind that process that I use. They're really simple. They're mechanical, and they work because they remove emotion, which is also subjectivity, from trading. But here is the catch. I know there's got to be a catch, Rog. This only works if you're willing to be bored, to wait. Most traders can't, and that's why they keep losing. The biggest difference between profitable traders and everyone else is patience, especially at key levels. So here's what happens almost every morning. The market opens. Price pushes hard in one direction, right at the open. Retail traders see that, and they jump in immediately. They chase the breakout. But I've learned something from watching this pattern thousands of times. The first move after the opening bell is most often a trap. Institutions use it to trigger stop losses and breakouts during what's known as the clearing period, clearing or filling orders. In other words, it's a liquidity grab. So I wait 5 minutes to 10 minutes, sometimes even 15 minutes. I watch how price reacts. I watch whether price is trading above the previous session close. I watch to see if there's truly a trend that still exists after the open. If a breakout stalls and price falls back through that level, that is my signal. That could be, of course, resistance. The same can apply to support. The signal is not the breakout. It's the failure. It's the price discovery. That is when I enter. Because now the institutions have already finished collecting liquidity during, again, this clearing range or opening range. So the lesson is simple. Mark your levels in the morning, the previous session close, the pre-market high, the pre-market low. These are levels. They are not signals. They're warning zones. They're attention. You wait for price to react to that attention. If there's a reaction, then you look for a trade based on that, not predicting. None of us have a crystal ball. And if you want the checklist that I use every morning to mark my levels, I've created a free template. You can find it listed in the description below. Most traders think more trades mean more profit, or more hours in front of the screen mean a larger account. But the opposite is usually true. Really early in my career, I traded everything. Support, bounces, resistance, breaks, trend lines. If it looked good, I took it. And my win rate was less than 50%, basically a coin flip. That's awful. That's when I realized something. Most setups have no edge, so I changed my rules. In ranging markets, I only trade the extremes. In trending markets, I only trade the pullbacks. That's it. Everything else, I ignore. Or another way of saying it is, I wait for my pitch. For example, if the market is moving inside of a range, choppy, sideways, channel, I wait for price to reach the edges. The top or the resistance or the bottom or the support, never in the middle, because the middle has no statistical edge. It's just noise. So instead of taking 10 mediocre trades, I wait for 1, 2 clean setups, a trade at a clear level with a clear stop and a clear target. And that patience changes everything. You've probably heard that trading is timing. Well, timing is actually waiting. All right, if this video is helping you, subscribe to the channel. It helps me know where I'm creating the right content for you. Thanks a bunch. The final rule is context. You can have the perfect setup, the perfect entry, the perfect risk reward ratio, but if it fights the bigger trend, it will often fail. That's why I always start on the structure of the time frame I am trading. Before trading intraday, I will look at the 5-minute chart pre-market, during the open, and after the clearing. I want to know if we're in a choppy market above the previous session close, or if we're in a trend above the previous session close. If I'm going to be bearish, I want to know if we're in a choppy market below the previous session close or if we're in a downtrend below the previous session close. Structure rules. In fact, structure dictates strategy. There are just three things that matter most. First, is the market trending or ranging? If it's trending, I'm waiting for retracements. So think of a pullback in an uptrend or a bounce in a downtrend. If it's stuck in a range, choppy, I trade the extremes. What are the extremes? Resistance. Resistance is a ceiling. A ceiling is the sellers. Sellers bring what? Supply. What is the floor? It's support. It's buyers. It's demand. Whatever verbiage you use, that's what you want to identify. Trade the extremes. All right, second, where is price relative to the previous session close? All right, what is that? I call it the PSC or the line in the sand. It is the 4 p.m. Eastern cash close of, you guessed it, the previous session. Above it, I'm going to look long. I'm going to look for calls. I'm going to look to buy whatever is pulling back to support. Below it, I prefer shorts or puts at resistance. And third, are there major levels nearby? Previous highs, previous lows, volume zones, volatility zones. These levels can change everything. That's the zone above the plate that, as a hitter, is your zone. Once I understand that bigger picture, then I'm going to move down to the actual setup. So it's going to be the 5-minute when I'm day trading. And I wait for my setups, the zone. If there's going to be a confirmation pattern, like a minor low or an inside candle, what level are we at? What confirmation do I have that that level is holding? And does it suit the current structure? And only then, if everything aligns, do I trade. If not, I wait. This exact framework changed all my trading. I went from taking 10, 15 day trades a day to taking 2, 3, 4 day trades a day. I also changed the hours that I focus on. I don't day trade all day. I day trade for about the first 60 minutes of the day. But those trades have a higher probability. They are better entries and they have a better risk reward. Once these rules are defined, in fact, write them down, trading becomes mechanical. It's like a checklist. It's process driven. You're not guessing. You're not getting emotional. You're not using subjectivity or your feelings. We're not writing poetry here. You're not chasing. You're just following a time-tested process that you understand day after day, trade after trade. That is how I made 28% in January, not by predicting the markets. No one has a crystal ball. In fact, there's a great quote that says, anyone who thinks they have a crystal ball actually will end up with a mouthful of glass. Love that. But by repeating the same boring rules every single day, that is how you find success. But here's a challenge. Knowing the rules is not really the hard part. Following them when emotions kick in, when greed kicks in, when fear kicks in, when there's news, when you're hearing other people talking about their big wins and huge payouts, right? That's when you need to stick to your rules. So in the next video, I'll show you the psychological traps that cause traders to abandon their strategy before they even have a chance to let it work for them. Go watch that video now, and I'll see you there.